be overcome. The powerful influence of the Senussi has yet to be overthrown. The independent kingdom of Wadai must be conquered. Many smaller potentates will resist desperately. Altogether France has enough to occupy her in Central Africa for some time to come, and even when the long task is finished, the conquered regions are not likely to be of great value. They include the desert of the Great Sahara and wide expanses of equally profitless scrub or marsh. Only one important river, the Shari, flows through them, and never reaches the sea. And even Lake Chad, into which the Shari flows, appears to be leaking through some subterranean exit, and is rapidly changing from a lake into an immense swamp. Great Britain and Egypt, upon the other hand, have secured a territory which, though smaller, is nevertheless of enormous extent, more fertile, comparatively easy of access, practically conquered, and containing the waterway of the Nile. France will be able to paint a great deal of the map of Africa blue, and the aspect of the continent upon paper may please the patriotic eye, but it is already possible to predict that before she can develop her property, can convert aspiration into influence, and influence into occupation, she will have to work harder, pay more, and wait longer for a return than will the more modest owners of the Nile Valley. And even when that return is obtained, it is unlikely that it will be of so much value. It only remains to discuss the settlement made between the conquerors of the Sudan. Great Britain and Egypt have moved hand in hand up the great river, sharing, though unequally, the cost of the war in men and money. The prize belonged to both. The direct annexation of the Sudan by Great Britain would have been an injustice to Egypt. Moreover, the claim of the conquerors to Fashoda and other territories rested solely on the former rights of Egypt. On the other hand, if the Sudan became Egyptian again, it must wear the fetters of that imprisoned country. The capitulations would apply to the Upper Nile regions as to the Delta. Mixed tribunals, Ottoman suzerainty, and other vexatious burdens would be added to the difficulties of Sudan administration. To free the new country from the curse of internationalism was a paramount object. The Sudan Agreement by Great Britain and Egypt, published on the 7th of March, 1899, achieves this. Like most of the best work done in Egypt by the British Agency, the agreement was slipped through without attracting much notice. Under its authority, a state has been created in the Nile Valley which is neither British nor Ottoman, nor anything else so far known to the law of Europe. International jurists are confronted with an entirely new political status. A diplomatic fourth dimension has been discovered. Great Britain and Egypt rule the country together. The Allied conquerors have become the joint possessors. What does this Sudan agreement mean? The Austrian Consul General asked Lord Cromer, and the British agent, whom 22 years' acquaintance with Egyptian affairs had accustomed to anomalies, replied, "It means simply this," and handed him the inexplicable document under which the conquered country may some day march to peace and plenty. End of chapter 17.